New EV rankings from US News and World Report. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from US News is the managing editor for Autos, Alex Kwanten. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Fred. Nice to see you.
Great to see you. And you're out with the 2025 Best Hybrid and Electric Cars. For the second year in a row, Hyundai is leading the industry. Tell us more.
Sure. So there are three Hyundais on our list this year, the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6, both of which are fully electric, and the Tucson Hybrid, which is just a regular conventional hybrid. I have to say that Hyundai has devoted a lot of attention to focusing on what its customers want and also distinctive design. Obviously, our emphasis here is on MPGe and miles per gallon and fuel efficiency and range, but we also factor in all the other attributes that buyers look at in vehicles. So it doesn't have to just be efficient. It also has to be a desirable vehicle. And all three of those are pretty heavy hitters in that department.
So tell us how the judging has been done here and who determines who's on the list.
Sure. So we evaluated 115 different vehicles, hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and fully electric vehicles across every class. So that is from like the tiniest little EV, like a Fiat 500e, up to all the way to like the Cadillac Escalade IQ, which is a jumbo size luxury SUV. And what we do is we look at the overall efficiency in terms of miles per gallon or electric range in terms of EVs and plug-in hybrids, how they perform, and how energy efficient they are, because in some cases you might have a jumbo size battery that gives you a very long range number on an EV, but it might not be all that energy efficient or all that easy to charge. So we evaluate them and then we look at our overall ratings for each vehicle, which are determined by value and safety scores and the overall consensus of the automotive press and our own experts, including me. I personally evaluated the 2025 Rivian R1S, that is our best luxury SUV winner, best luxury electric SUV, I should say. We come up with these rankings to sort of give people the best choices to make when it comes time to purchase. So we want to give them the best advice and the best recommendation. When your cousin says, "Hey, what should I get?" This is what they should get.
So tell us more about the different categories here and who came out on top.
Sure. So at the very top, we have the Lucid Air and the Rivian R1S, which is the best electric luxury car and the best electric luxury SUV. The Air is, I think, a four-time repeat winner now. It has pretty much been the Ne Plus Ultra of electric sedans in the US market ever since it was introduced. The longest range version has 512 miles of range, so really range anxiety, not a thing. But even the lesser versions have about more than 400 miles of range. It's very fast, it's very luxurious, it's very space efficient. And the Rivian R1S is very similar in some respects. Lucid is coming out with an SUV, but it wasn't quite ready in time for this awards judging, and we really like to have some experience with the vehicle before we make a judgment. The R1S now offers three different battery configurations, so standard, medium, and extended. And it also offers dual, triple, or quad motor versions, so you can really get a great experience driving on the road in terms of all-out performance or off-road performance. The R1S is one of the few electric vehicles that really can hold its own with like a Jeep Wrangler or a Toyota 4Runner, and that's something that some buyers really want. Further down the list, we've got a couple of plug-in hybrids. Both are SUVs. The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid has replaced the former S60 plug-in hybrid as the winner of Best Luxury Plug-in Hybrid. The S60 isn't offered anymore, but the XC60 is just as good and probably more family-friendly. We have the Mazda CX-90 as the best plug-in hybrid. You can get 26 miles of electric range there, and some plug-in hybrids aren't great performers when they're in electric mode, but that one is. You can really sort of motor around and get a pretty good driving experience, even in electric mode in that. We have a whole bunch of different hybrid cars and trucks too. We have the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, which I mentioned before, really an outstanding compact SUV and very efficient. We have the Toyota Camry, which is best hybrid car. The Camry got a major update this year, and now all Camrys are hybrids. The Camry may not be quite as refined as the hybrid versions of the Honda Accord or Hyundai Sonata, but it's really, really affordable and it gets fantastic gas mileage. The most efficient one, I think, gets 51 miles per gallon combined, which is great for a midsize car. And we also have the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is another repeat winner as best electric truck. The electric trucks have really proliferated in the last few years, but the F-150 Lightning really, it's one of the few electric trucks that offers a direct analog to its gasoline sister. And so anything you want out of an F-150, you can also get out of the Lightning, only with better fuel efficiency and more power. So yeah, we really have a diverse group.
The one name that hasn't been mentioned so far, at least, has been Tesla, one of the real pioneers overall in EVs, leader in sales, I think, and controversial though of late. How did it do in the rankings?
Well, you know, Teslas have won these awards in the past. We've been doing this award since 2018. I have not been with US News that long, but we have awarded Teslas some of these awards in the past. I think the main thing about how they ended up in the scoring is that despite recent refreshes on some of the models, particularly the Model 3, which was refreshed last year, and the Model Y, where a refresh is just coming along right now, um, they're getting to be rather older vehicles. They still have really good mileage, really, really good range, and they still charge pretty quickly. It can sometimes be hard to achieve those claimed ranges in the real world with Teslas, and we've seen that and other outlets have as well. But basically, newer competitors are coming along and just kind of eclipsing them in certain respects. The Lucid Air, which I mentioned, in that class, Tesla still produces the Model S. And the Model S is always going to be a famous, iconic car. It's the first like really desirable electric vehicle. But it is 13 years old, and despite many updates, time does march on. And I think if you try out the Lucid, you'll find that it's more luxurious. There's more range. It charges just as quickly. There's really no downside to it, and you get a lot more out of it for the price, which is almost the same. So Teslas just didn't stack up as well this time. The Model 3 still did quite well and still offers a good package. I will say, we have sort of been watching the Tesla values slip quite a lot. And, depreciation is also a factor. I think all EVs depreciate a little bit faster than their gas equivalents, but some more than others. And it's a hard we want people to be aware of what they're getting into when they buy something. If they're going to lose money on the deal, we don't like that. So yeah, the Teslas just didn't stack up as well this time.
Tell me about what consumers should be considering when they're deciding between an EV, a hybrid, or a plug-in hybrid. There's, I guess, a lot of folks probably might be scratching their heads. What should I buy?
Sure. So if you don't have access to home charging and you want to save fuel, buying a conventional hybrid is the way to go. Because the main benefits of either a plug-in hybrid or a fully electric vehicle are really only realized if you can charge it every night at your house. If you can't do that, you can still get by. I know people who own EVs and live in rental apartments where they can't charge. And they still enjoy them and they still get a good experience out of it, but you're not getting the full sort of energy savings that you might be able to otherwise. A plug-in hybrid, it kind of is the best of both worlds in a sense. If you only drive a short distance, let's say if you live on a place like Long Island and you're driving from the South Shore to the North Shore, I don't know if your viewers know Long Island that well, but on Long Island, there's nowhere you can go that's more than 100 miles away. And most of the time, most Americans, I think, drive less than 25 miles a day. If you have a Mazda CX-90 that has 26 miles of electric range, you can do all that on electricity. But you have to go home and charge it up every night. Otherwise, you're carrying around more weight than you need to. And there's no real benefit other than the electric torque, which does boost performance, but the goal is to boost performance and efficiency. So if you can charge at home, you can really save a lot of money in the long term by having an electric or a plug-in hybrid. You just have to be okay with charging it. I think electric vehicles are so much more energy efficient than gas vehicles that the costs, really can be a lot lower and the experience can be better. Like the F-150 Lightning does almost everything that the regular F-150 does, but better. It's faster, it's quieter, it's more refined, and the energy costs are a lot lower. If you ever run a full-size truck, then you know you're sort of lucky to be getting 15 to 18 miles per gallon, sometimes not much more than that, even in a hybrid. Um, but the Lightning, like every time you step on the brakes, all the energy in a gas car is lost. You've hauled the car down to a stop, but the energy you used is gone. In an EV, that energy is recaptured and put back into the battery, and so you really are from soup to nuts getting a more efficient experience. And I feel like over time, that really adds up to fuel savings. Plus, you just get more performance. And I think the F-150 Lightning is useful as an example because if you're like a contractor who just drives maybe 50 miles a day, and you're just putting gas in a truck, that gas is just adding up and up and up and up. If you go home at night, you plug in your F-150 Lightning Pro, over time, those little local runs, they really are more efficient with electricity. So you can save money that way, even if the out-of-pocket spend for the vehicle is more. You have to look at it in terms of the total ownership cost.
Terrific. Where can people go for more info?
Sure, they can go to cars.usnews.com. They can research any car they want. We've done most of the homework for you, and we'll have a list of these winners up.
Terrific. Again, it's cars.usnews.com. Alex Kwanten, thank you for taking time with us.
Thanks, Fred. Take care.